Hey guys, it's Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today we are going to be talking all about the brand new Too Faced concealer. This is called, sorry, you guys are gonna have to prep for this. The new Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. As you can see here on the bottom, you can conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch with this puppy. Too Faced sent me this ginormous PR package which had all 20 shades of their new Born This Way concealer. So we're going to be talking about it in this video. I'm going to be doing some swatches, I'm going to be talking about the color line, of course I'm going to be talking about the formula, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, which by the way, if you don't, I definitely recommend you guys follow me on Instagram because I update a lot over there. I do a lot of updates on my stories. I show you guys new products that I've been sent or new products that I purchased or just random things about my life. If you guys ever want to see me off of YouTube and off of this kind of formal sort of situation we got going on here, Instagram is where it's at. But anyways, on my Instagram, I did show you guys all of these. I showed you guys swatches of all of the colors and everything. You guys got the first sneak peek on Instagram. And I also did an Instagram poll asking if you guys wanted to see a review comparing this formula to the Tarte Shape Tape, since this is like the best-selling concealer of all time, and I think most of us have probably tried this now. It also seems to be a holy grail for most people, and now I feel like it's just kind of set the bar at what we expect a concealer to do. So I think it's a pretty good base formula to test the Born This Way concealer against, especially because the way this particular concealer is marketed is basically the same way that Shape Tape was marketed. First and foremost, this is what the packaging of the new Born This Way concealer looks like. It does come in a pretty substantial glass bottle with a plastic top. The top does twist off, and then you are getting a little applicator here. Too Faced does claim this to be a special diamond doe foot applicator because the top of the doe foot does have a little bit of a diamond shape. I don't particularly find that to be an asset when applying this, nor is it a hindrance. It just is. This new concealer retails for $29 for half a fluid ounce, which is quite a bit of concealer. I will say almost $30 for a concealer does seem excessively high, but half an ounce is about half of what you would get in any typical liquid foundation that you would apply all over your face. And given the potency of this and how opaque it is and how little you actually need to use of this, half an ounce it's gonna go far. You're getting even significantly more product than you get in Shape Tape, and you are already getting a lot of product in Shape Tape as it is. In terms of some of the claims of this new concealer, Too Faced claims this to have new super coverage, long wear, natural finish concealer infused with coconut water to help keep skin hydrated for a photo-ready complexion. Plus, fully loaded pigments provide maximum coverage with an undetectable finish for a look so flawless they'll think you were born this way. The first thing I want to address in terms of this concealer is how this compares to the original Born This Way concealer. If you guys are familiar with Too Faced makeup line, you probably know that Too Faced did already have a concealer called Born This Way. They launched it a couple of years back, pretty soon after the foundation came out. I'll be honest, I never, ever tried that concealer. I've never once used it. I have no idea how this one compares. The first thing I want to talk about with this is the color range. Let's just take a quick look at the 20 colors that are offered in this collection. To give you guys a better idea, let me go ahead and flash a swatch picture here on the screen for you guys so you can see them. I'll be totally honest, and maybe it's just because I do have a tan or like a darker complexion, but I feel like there are a lot of light colors that kind of look the same. Sure, maybe they have slightly different undertones, and potentially if you are of a pale or light complexion and you have trouble finding concealers that match you, there's a lot of options here. Then let's talk about the kind of darker tones. We've got a decent amount of tan colors, not great, not awful, but not great. And then we have the dark color, the single dark color. Now, I understand that, especially as a first launch, you really can't release every single color of the rainbow. I mean, Fenty did it. I feel like now Fenty is just kind of setting the bar at 40 shades. If you can't launch 40 shades, you're just not good enough. That's sort of what Fenty kind of made everybody think, which isn't necessarily true. But my biggest gripe with this is not that there's 20 shades. I think 20 shades for a concealer is really, really decent. My issue is that so many of those light shades look exactly the same, but there's only one dark shade. Too Faced couldn't have maybe condensed the light shades just a little bit, maybe taken out like 2 of those light shades and made 2 other options for darker shades. Even though light skin does need different undertone options, medium tone skin needs different undertone options, but tan and dark skin, they need those options too, and those options just aren't available. And I think that's the thing that makes me the most disappointed with this range. Now, that's not to say that Too Faced won't release shade extensions of this concealer in the future. They probably will. In fact, they've released shade extensions of their original Born This Way foundation quite a few times, and just recently they launched 11 more shades, making there a whopping 35 total shades of the original Born This Way foundation, which I think is really great. I'm definitely looking forward to Too Faced releasing some shade extensions on this concealer because, just to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler alert, I really, really love this concealer. I think it's a really, really nice dupe for the Shape Tape. As far as the shade that I wear in both of these, I have worn the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan. I basically wear this shade year round. The closest shade match I could find in the Too Faced collection is the shade Tan, and this is described to have a golden undertone to it. Here's a look at both of those concealers swatched right next to each other. This one here is the Tarte Shape Tape in Tan, and this one here is the Too Faced Born This Way in Sand. You can see that the Tarte concealer is a little bit more peachy, whereas the Too Faced one is maybe just a shade darker and a little bit more caramelly brown. The 2 shades are similar, but they're definitely not dupes. They're not the same. I can use both of them, but they do give just a slight different tone under the eyes. Now let's talk about the formula of both of these concealers. If you guys have used Tarte Shape Tape, it's a thicker, creamier formula. It's very, very, very opaque. A little bit goes a really long way. It spreads a lot. If I don't at least set it, but preferably bake it, it can crease just a little bit under my eyes. I also have fairly oily eyelids, like the skin around my eyes is very, very oily, so things do tend to crease on me pretty easily. On the contrary, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, while equally opaque, is slightly thinner in texture. It's not quite as creamy as the Tarte one, and because of that, I feel like it's not quite as a little goes a long way as the Tarte one is. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Too Faced one is still a little goes a long way compared to most regular concealers, but compared to the Tarte Shape Tape, I feel like I need to use just a little bit more of this to get it to spread as evenly, or not even evenly, but just for it to go as far as the Shape Tape does. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in now so you can see after I've already completed my makeup. I actually filmed that demo about 4 hours earlier. So now you'll kind of be able to see how this concealer has sort of worn into my skin a little bit. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this is the Tarte Shape Tape side, this is the Too Faced Born This Way side. I have to say that they look pretty much the same to me. I even put a mirror super, super up close to my face to really kind of analyze my under eye area here, and I think they look the same. Now, I will say maybe I wasn't the best person to test this concealer necessarily because I don't have really, really dark under eye circles. I was just genetically blessed that way, I guess. Knock on wood now, because I don't want to be getting any panda eyes up in here. But I still do think that these concealers concealers do make a difference just in the brightness of this area, and especially to just kind of help clean up and really frame if you have any shadow going on your lower lash line. I think both of these concealers do an equally fantastic job. As far as the overall longevity on these concealers, they last me all day. Like I said, I do need to set them or bake, but once I do that, I have very, very minimal settling, if any, by the end of the day. I didn't notice a difference between the longevity on either of these. I think they both last equally well. These two formulas are also made in two completely different countries. The Tarte one is made in Korea, whereas the Too Faced one is made in Italy. In the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, you are getting 0.3381 fluid ounces for $27. That means that you are paying $79.86 per ounce. Remember, the reason that price tag is really high is because you're not getting a full ounce here. That means that if you were to purchase enough tubes to get a full ounce of product, you would be paying almost $80 for the Tarte. Whereas for the Too Faced one, you are paying $29, but you are getting half a fluid ounce. That means that you would be paying $58 for 1 ounce of the Too Faced Born This Way. Almost $80 per ounce versus $58 per ounce. So you are getting a much, much, much better value in the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So wrapping this video up, what are some of my final thoughts? I really, really love the Born This Way concealer. In my opinion, this is just as good as the Tarte Shape Tape. Once I run out of my Shape Tape, I'll just keep using the Born This Way concealer. I think that they're equally good. As of right now, my only, and I mean my only gripe with this product is the color range. This is not fair, Too Faced. Considering you guys came out with such a great formula, how nice would it be if more people, especially more people in the dark skin tone family, could use your product. However, if you are, fair to light, there are a ton of color options for you. There's a really, really good chance that you'll find something that matches you. But yeah, that is basically everything I have to say on the new Born This Way concealer. I really, really appreciate Too Faced sending me this very, very generous PR package. And for those of you guys wondering, because I always get this question, especially when I receive PR packages with a million colors that don't match me. So Eshani, what are you gonna do with the rest of these that you're not gonna use? I am going to go ahead and donate them. That's what I always do with PR products that either don't match me or that I don't love or that I've just never used. I'll just go ahead and donate them because I feel like there are definitely people out there that can make really good use of these products, and especially when I can't. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really, really appreciate it if you did. The subscribe button is down below, as well as right over here for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video very, very soon. I'll see you then. Bye!